I don't have a story to tell. I don't have any stories. I don't know any stories. I don't have any stories. Life stories about me? Okay. You want to hear a life story about me? Alright, here we go. Once upon a time, there was this boy, and he wasn't allowed to do many things because he was disabled. He didn't have his legs, he didn't have his right hand, and he didn't look like everybody else. And because he didn't look like everybody else, he was automatically defaulted to be special. And because you're special, and because he was special, he was put into special schools, special classrooms, special learning. He was in a special gym. Everything was special. Everything was just special for him. And I'm not talking about you're gifted and talented special, you're the 1%. This is the special where you're the bottom of the 1%. And that was this boy's life. And because he was so special, it was his driving motivation to have the determination and the willingness and the resolve to be the best person that he can be so he can prove it to everybody else. And because of that, it developed a really sense of awareness of the things that are around him, the people and how they perceive him, and to be able to have sympathy and mercy for people who are struggling. So it was his sense of purpose to be the man or the person that he wanted to be, was the person that he can be living without limitations. And that was his purpose, to live life without limitations and to have a heart after people who are living with limitations. And that this was his driving force throughout his entire life. He was determined to prove everybody wrong. He was determined to not be categorized and be labeled as somebody who is special. And he was determined to do whatever it took and whatever it cost in order to be the person that he envisioned in his mind, which is the person without limitations. And he excelled tremendously in many things, in everything that he did. He always worked harder than everybody else. He always studied harder, more, longer. He practiced more. He did the things that were hard. He didn't mind to go through a lot of pain and suffering. He didn't mind being alone for long periods of time. He didn't mind people not understanding him, because his entire life people didn't understand him. He went through lots of pain. He went through lots of suffering. He went through lots of bullying and people making fun of him and telling him, no, you can't do this and you can't do that it's never been done and that's not possible. He's experienced all of that for his entire life, literally. And that's what's driven him and drove him to be the person that he is. And that person is, voila, me, if you didn't know. And I am still like that. I'm still very much like that. And I still have a lot of unresolved issues in me that I'm still working on every single day, because I am very driven. I'm very passionate. When I focus in on something, I do it with everything that I can possibly do. I don't like giving a half-baked effort, no matter what it is that I'm doing. It's a staple of my identity. It's a staple of who I am. I'm the person who gives 110% if I'm cleaning a toilet bowl. Okay? I'm the person who gives 110% if I'm studying material that I want to master. I want to master it and remaster it and remaster it and remaster it. That's the type of person that I am. I can't change that. I can only try to balance it as life throws different dynamics at me. But this is who I am. This is not the person that I am, but this is part of me and a big part of me. And I balance it in different ways. Does it always work out in my favor to be balancing it? No. Do I hurt a lot of people in the process? Yes. Do I not allow a lot of things to come into my life? Yes. But I know the type of person that I'm not. Therefore, I know who I am. If that makes any sense. If you know who you're not, then you know by default who you are. And because you know who you're not means that you know what you can and can't do. You know what you're not going to do. You know who you don't want to be, and you know exactly what you should be doing by default. So that's the best way to know who you are, by knowing who you are not. And that in itself has helped me stay focused and become the person that I am. And that's why people like me, that's why people report on me, that's why people know me, that's why people admire me and respect me. That's why people hate me. That's why people silently hate me and never say anything. You know, that's why people compete with me all the time. And it's okay. It's the way it is. That's life in general. We're in a competitive world, and I welcome the competitiveness because I will outwork anyone, and I will be willing to risk it all repeatedly over and over again. And I'm not afraid to lose it all, which a lot of people are afraid to lose it all. A lot of people are afraid to risk it. And that's me. I'm not afraid to risk it all because I know that I can resolve and move on and do different things because I have it in me. I mean, I started with nothing. I started, like I said, with the story, I started with being special, being categorized as special, the bottom 1%. And I know what it's like to thrive at the bottom 1%. And if I can thrive at the bottom 1% when I was a little baby without